place home. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And we want to thank you for stopping by the Heron Heads podcast, powered by 786 Sports, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. Inter Miami have officially been kicked out of the CONCACAF Champions Cup with a pretty humiliating defeat of 3-1 after they lost 2-0 in the first leg in Vancouver. Went down pretty sad. But before we begin, thank you to our Chief Heron Heads, Chow and Mari V, for the continued support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening. You can also show your support by just hitting the like and subscribe buttons if you are watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on X, thank you guys for also tuning in. And just please hit the like buttons, retweet, all those little things that you can do to engage with the video. Really helps us out. So not what we were looking for. Started off pretty okay, and then second half came and everything fell apart. And I think the cracks that were beginning to show a few weeks ago have fully opened up. But how's everyone feeling?
I feel like a punching bag. I feel like it's been, I mean, not everyone here is a Miami fan, but like honestly, it's been a rough few days for Miami fans in sports. Rough, just drubbing. The Heat the last few nights was terrible. Now this one we watched the last few games with Inter Miami, it's been rough. Oh my god, it's not entertaining. It was entertaining. It was pretty boring. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very boring. Just our style of play was crappy. It was just.
It was the same garbage that we've seen the last, 2 months now? Whatever it's been, 2-3 months. I don't know. I think we've only seen a month worth of good football playing from Mascherano and these guys. It's just crappy football, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. What Mascherano and this team are doing right now is complete crap. Mascherano has to be taken a look at here. I know nothing's going to happen. Obviously, they're not going to make any crazy moves right now, but the fact that Bright wasn't out there to start, the fact that Chelo wasn't out there to start are just the most glaring pieces right now where we see that Mascherano messed up on this match. There's just no excuse to not have them out there, especially after the match that they had on Sunday. How can you not start these guys? The first two goals that were scored by the Whitecaps were on those two guys, were on Chelo and on Redondo. Directly on them, and there's just no excuse to continue having those guys out there. Moving forward, if he still puts those guys out there, then we may be ready to start calling Mascherano out. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's just hard-headed stubbornness and a clear favoritism at that point to certain players on the squad. So it's just a sad performance, sad outcome. I don't even know. It's hard to describe anything else.
It's driven me to the bottle. I cracked open the bottle to start the show. That's not a happy drink. I think it's more of an upset than a sad drink because
it's Widow Jane though. I mean,
it's nice. It's a nice sad drink, but it's just Mascherano said that he wasn't going to do anything crazy to start this match, but he did nothing. He played the same exact group that stunk it up in Vancouver and expected a different outcome. That's crazy. If he's not like that by definition is crazy. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's insane. And he did it again. And what did we hang our hats on with when the Chelo and Frey debate was, Mascherano probably yields to Chelo because he's slightly better in defense. Chelo was getting torched over and over and over. Remember, Jose, when you went to the match and Yedlin got torched over and over and over and you were haunted by it? Some poor kid went to the match today and that's all he's going to remember. It's like, oh my God, Chelo was on my side and he was getting torched all game. What do I do? The kid has to feel exactly like you right now. and it's awful, man. And I got into it in the Discord today. Redondo, I said before the match that I don't know why he's still getting so much playing time, and it's the same thing. Redondo probably one of his worst matches that we've seen, which is saying something because he hasn't really had any good matches lately. And this one today was just mistake after mistake after mistake. And when he finally gets a chance, he smacks it into the 15th row. And it's just insane that we keep getting the same knuckleheads out there when when we know we have proven talent behind them. And Mascherano, I don't know whether it's that he's too close to some of these guys or he sees nothing but his flag and he has favorites. I don't understand what it is. And I know some of you are saying, no, it's a little too early for mash out. I'm mash out. I'm sorry. Tata with less people with less talent, with way less talent. I remember Messi was out for a while, was able to go on a hell of a run. Mascherano with way more talent, a healthy Messi, and we can't do a damn thing. I'm
So
out.
Tata in.
Well, let's read this. Let's read this message here from Christian. Firstly, thank you for the super chat, Christian. Our players look clueless, and it's because of Mash. He's ruining Messi's legs by having him drop to the midfield. By the way, I'll never forgive him. Yeah, man, Mash is not. He's doing nothing really. He's not reacting to what's going on, and that's it. It felt early on that he was doing a good job at assessing what was going on in games and sort of adjusting on the fly in game, which wasn't something that we were used to with Tata. So to see this sort of fall back to ineptitude is really frustrating. I mean, we've been talking about it for a few weeks now, but the lack of willingness to make wholesale changes to lineups, not even wholesale changes, but just there's very obvious spots in our roster that there's a logical upgrade waiting on the bench to be put in. And it seems like the playbook on how to beat Miami got out when we played against LA. And since that first leg, every single match, other teams are frustrating us. We're having trouble scoring goals, and Mascherano has not been able to find a way to correct it. And it's showing his inexperience as a manager.
Yeah, and it's a shame because we gave Mascherano so many flowers in the beginning of the season because he looked like a breath of fresh air, and he had a fire under his butt, and he was coaching up the team and this and that. And then all of a sudden, like you said, Julio, they got the blueprint out there, and everyone just kind of started doing very similar tactics, tweaking little things here and there. And here we are today. Mascherano has not changed anything, and he continues just to make boneheaded decisions. Another decision today that I don't understand. Redondo was having a horrible first half of the match. He had a horrible game in general, but the first half of the match was horrible, and he got a yellow card. We come out in the second half, and he's still on the pitch. That's unacceptable. He should have been taken out and subbed out right there at halftime. There's no reason to have that guy out there anymore. One, because he's been having a horrible match. Two, you risk getting a second yellow card and playing down a man. It just doesn't make any sense to what they did tonight.
And like you said that he started off well. The main thing that we loved about Mascherano early on was that he was willing to make the timely subs. Like I don't know how many times. Remember that we haven't had any blowout matches. We've had a lot of close matches that have been because of pivotal changes that he had to do that worked out. I don't know what happened, but he's gotten completely away from that. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes because what we saw early in the season, and I understand that people are playing us a little differently, but his willingness to make changes has disappeared, and I don't know what can possibly cause that.
Yeah, it's really frustrating because I mean for so many reasons, but just it's like they almost started taking for granted the success that we saw early on in the season, and it was like okay, this team will just find a way because of the talent that's out on the pitch, but that's not how any of this works. Like work goes in on the tactical side to find sustained success in any season, in any tournament. And once you become stagnant, it's not going to work over an extended period of time. It might work in an individual match, but over the course of a competition, whether it's a league season or a cup competition, it's just not going to translate to success. And this is Vancouver's a good team, and we got to give them their flowers, but the showing from Inter Miami was not up to snuff, and that also can't be it's not good enough, and that can't be allowed, I guess, or it can't be
Tolerated.
overstated. Yeah, it needs to be much better, and if we think that we're gonna go into the Club World Cup and make any sort of noise, or into the MLS Cup, even, like, this is all. There's a lot of bad signs and bad juju, bad everything. The aura, the vibe around the club is not good, man. We saw it in the second half, like fouls that the players thought should have been called that weren't called, and they just stopped playing and started throwing their hands up and walking to the ref. Like, the energy's way off where it needs to be.
And that right there, Suarez is the number one culprit. We'll get to this to super chat real quick, but Suarez is the number one culprit in that he's constantly on the ground. In the first half, he was on the ground half of the time. And who's going to learn from that? The younger guys that are on the pitch are going to learn from that. They're going to try to do similar things and start complaining. And it's just like that group mentality. You just start feeding off of that other person. So until the veterans, until the top dogs on this team start acting right, then the rest of the team is going to just kind of follow suit. And it's unacceptable. It's really unacceptable.
Who are the top dogs acting poorly other than Suarez?
Suarez, Alba tends to complain a lot. Boosie tends
plays
to
with fire. Like,
yeah.
Alba's complaining and
general,
Suarez is
but-
complaining, I think, are two very different things.
It is, but you just got to be careful when you have a group of young guys that you're trying to bring up and teach and coach up. But
So let's get to the super chat again. Christian, thank you for the super chat. Club World Cup is coming with Chelo and Redondo playing. We are cooked. We've been saying this forever. Why he didn't make halftime? Masha is super lost. No bueno, guys.
Agreed, Christian. I mean, ultimately, like, I'm kind of praying that we get some sort of help that resuscitates us in the summer window. Like,
I don't think we need
shouldn't
help.
have to. We shouldn't have to rely on that.
I'm just
have the
saying,
guys.
Hey,
Jose, what are you talking about?
We have the guys on this team. We don't need to get outside help.
Okay, I get it. We have
here.
enough. I get it. I'm just saying,
just
I would like a little more. God.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because
I
we
feel
have the
it.
guys on this team, and we don't use them.
You know what we should
Ray
do?
didn't see the pitch.
We should sign a winger from Finland who's just not afraid to take an outside the box shot.
That's right.
Sometimes you just got to let it rip.
We let it rip today. I mean, Allende hit it one off
The only thing that we ripped today was ass.
Redondo ripped it so hard it went to the 18th row.
It still hasn't come down, actually.
We've ripped a lot.
It even looked like he hit. He just poked it. He just like poked the ball. Like, it was the most insecure poke. It's just so frustrating because what is
Luis Suarez hit one off the crossbar.
but what is Redondo's like? What is he hanging? What is he hanging his head on? Because I heard today that he's a pivot and he needs to not worry about the defense so much, but then on offense he looks like complete ass. It's like I don't see what it is that is his calling card at this point.
The one thing I'll say about Redondo maybe is his possession. When he has possession of the ball, he's good at boxing out the guys. He's a bigger body, but that's about it. And then he goes and elbows someone and gets a yellow card.
Yeah, he's so good at boxing out.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah,
come close to the ball. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna give him the old Ekblad, if you know what I mean.
It's like at least when Toto picks up a card, he's like annihilating somebody, and you feel kind of good about it. but when Redondo does it, it's just like.
Yeah, that's a good point that Mike V brings up.
I get it, Chris.
Huh?
We have enough.
Is the most stacked. Mike V says we have the most stacked roster in the MLS, and the way we feel is just sad. Ultimately, the issue is the ownership for caring more about the names than a team. They're into making money. Maybe.
I hope not.
It's an interesting thought. It's an interesting point to talk about.
I'm not talking about ownership. Not allowed.
Half of it.
Yeah. I mean, look. Ultimately, it's something that it's interesting to bring up, and a few folks in the comments have said that where maybe he's handcuffed to what he can actually do. Macarano, because I mean it's kind of apparent, right? Like you're watching these guys kind of struggle at this point. I'll tell you what, today was nice to see Alba kind of have a little resurrection game. It seemed like he was having some fun out there. You know, back to
What are you
elbow,
talking about?
back to elbowing someone in the face. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this guy's back in action. You know what I mean?
He started off well the first half. I
Yeah.
thought he was playing very good. He was attacking, pressing forward a lot. Obviously, he scored.
He's been stagnant, I feel, you know, and I feel like today we saw a little bit of the old Alba. It's a shame I feel like it kind of died off towards in the second half, but
Yeah.
so they all did.
Well, after that first goal, it was just everything just
Yeah.
changed. I mean,
Deflated
there was
them.
three defenders. There's three defenders in the back the whole time. It was each defender was basically one-on-one with somebody, and everyone else was just up because we had no choice at that point. They
Jose,
shouldn't have gotten to that.
read this one.
Crying face. A lot of crying face.
Mascherano sucks. Suarez out. Chelo out. Redondo out. Crying
Okay,
face.
that's what
Good
it's
job, Chris.
It looks like the same words.
Please tell him Alba had a horrible game.
He didn't have a horrible game. He scored.
Thought he had a good first half.
Can't say he had a horrible game. But, I mean, I'm going to expose Jose a little bit here. At halftime, Jose thought Chelo was having an amazing game. And I
Yeah.
thought Jose was watching a different game, and there was a different Chelo involved.
And I quote, I love what Chelo's doing out there.
Join the Discord.
I was talking specifically about his. What did I say afterwards?
Something about his
he made one-
crosses
he
and
made
he's
one nice
whipping
cross.
passes around here.
He's just whipping the passes in the box. That's all I said. Oh my god!
So, what was your final assessment of him after the match?
Chris, I don't know.
Yellen 2.0.
Wait until I get into the man of the match and the least of the match, and that's just funny in itself. You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody had a terrible rating.
Great.
So
Well, why don't you just go for it then?
I think Julio has to say who it's sponsored by.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
And now it's time for Jose's most and least of the match, presented by SofaScore. How about that, huh?
Wow,
I didn't know that was coming.
That's right.
That's what she said. All right. So, man of the match, who you guys got?
Alba.
That caught everyone off guard.
That's right.
I mean, trying to,
You think I just sit here and spit facts? I'm over here working.
I think so. All right, go ahead.
I did
Alba,
that. I did that after we went down 3-1. I just came and sat and did that. I was like,
Well-
I'm so mad. I'm gonna make this show the best show ever.
Jose, what was your
Right.
question?
the man of the match. I mean, you didn't listen?
Man
of the match, Alba, the only guy that scored.
I'm gonna not say Alba. I'm gonna say somebody completely off the rails here.
Do it.
No Allen.
Definitely not.
Not a horrible
Suarez.
one.
Suarez 7.7. Messi
What?
7.6.
God, SofaScore. If you didn't sponsor us, the things I'd say about you. Jesus Christ.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about Suarez in general today? At least comparatively speaking, compared to other games.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's our striker. He has to score. There was a couple plays where he hesitated on a shot. There's one that it was a very tight angle. He took the shot, missed wide. It's gonna happen when you take a shot from that angle, but like, dude, he's not putting anything on frame anymore. Anything.
Well, one time he did put it on frame.
I probably was working on that transition and didn't see it.
I mean, he was offsides.
Perfect. Oh no, he wasn't.
He missed.
Went off the crossbar. That's not
He
on
missed
target.
that one. That's not
That's
on
not on
target.
target.
That's not on target.
No,
Yeah,
on target means it would have gone in the net.
or blocked by the keeper.
There you go.
So Suarez
wow.
was
So
the-
he was man of
the
the match. That's very surprising.
Enjoy.
That goes to show how bad the rest of the team was today.
That's what it told me. That's what it actually. It wasn't so much that SofaScore sucks. It was more so that These other guys just really blew it today.
We suck.
Right. And Messi 7.6. I'll tell you, man, I think there's a little bit of juice to that thing that I said in the preview.
We didn't have a preview.
In the first match.
It's like 2 weeks ago.
What'd you say?
Cubas. You guys remember Cubas when I spoke to him about Cubas? That he happened to be a very good when they played in November.
He was a good Messi stopper.
He's dubbed the Messi stopper. He did pretty well against the man.
He's not a good one. He's the one.
Mascherano might be a good Messi stopper. It's really making life hard for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Messi didn't look great today either. So
I didn't have a problem with the way he played, though. It's just there's nothing going on around him.
Nothing going on. I
It's
think
difficult.
is a huge component of that conversation.
All right. Least of the match. Who do you guys
Is there
got?
more is there
So
more
many
imaging?
people. No, this is all part
like-
of the most.
I'm
of
like
least of the
waiting
match.
for.
There's so many people that you could say.
There's a lot of people.
Like,
If you name,
Ustari is gonna have a low rating because of the goals
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
I'll say
You
Redondo.
know,
He had a
the
yellow card.
defense, Allen, Falcon. I thought Falcon had a pretty rough match, to be honest.
Redondo had the yellow card and he had a bad match. That's my pick.
Redondo would have been my pick.
Woeful, man.
I don't want to double up. So I'm going to go with Allende. Because I thought he was terrible today. Terrible.
Who was it, Jose?
We have Falcon 6.3. So you were right, Julio. And then Ustadi was also a great choice, 6.7. Terrible. Cello, 6.7. Terrible. Noah Allen, our captain. Oh, captain.
Leave him alone.
6.7. Terrible.
Leave him alone.
And then I'm gonna tell you the joke of it all. So we subbed out Falcon. You know who we took him out for?
Lujan.
He was the second least of the match. It was 6.4. So we not only we just I don't understand why do we love Lujan so much. We keep putting him in there, and the guy I don't understand.
Who says we love Lujan so much?
I think he means Mascherano.
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 Yeah.
He does. He puts
Well,
him in all the time. He
where's
loves the guy.
Lujan? Where's Lujan from?
Doesn't matter. Sucks.
I think Dave's trying to make a point.
He's
Oh.
Argentinian.
Doesn't matter.
Mierda. So that's what that wraps it up, folks.
All right, I don't have like an outro, but I want to replay that one now that everyone's expecting it.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
And now it's time for Jose's most and least of the match, presented by SofaScore.
You didn't make a second one saying that was.
I know. Listen, one thing at a time.
For anyone who doesn't have SofaScore yet, we do have the link below, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
we have a link in the description.
Yeah, so we have the link below. Wait, Jose, one second.
Jose, shut
please.
up.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
cracking me up. He's
Can't help
cracking me
himself.
up.
My God, we do have the link below for SofaScore for those of you who do not have it downloaded. Obviously, it shows up all these stats that we talk about after every match, and
And you can see how fraudulent or not the ratings are.
that's right. But even if you want to follow other sports, they do have other sports on there too. If you guys want to follow, so
And
Check it
then
out.
if you use our code, it helps us out, and we can make more funny little things like that if we get other types of sponsorships. So let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. So yeah, I mean, listen, it was things started off good, like I sort of mentioned. Alba scores the goal pretty early, Vancouver had their chances in the first half, but we kind of had them on their heels for a little bit, and it felt like if we can just get that second one, go into the half essentially level. I mean, obviously, if Vancouver gets the away goal, we're gonna need to get at least 2, but it felt like we were in a good spot, and then we came out in the second half. No changes made at halftime. When there were some changes that I think obviously could have been made, which is the recurring theme of the night, but we completely fell apart, and it's the wheels fell off and like the dam broke, and it was just this overwhelming loss of focus that how much time elapsed between the first 2 goals? Like 3 minutes?
something like that. Very little. Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
And hey, if you would have told me in the beginning of the match that we're going to score before the 10-minute mark first, I would have said, hey, I'll take that. And that, I mean, I feel good about our chances.
I mean, even if you
But,
said 1-0
man.
at halftime, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah, after I think like when we were down 2-1, I think I looked at myself and I was like, this team's not gonna win anything. The way that they're playing, the way that they're being managed, they're not capable of winning anything of significance. And that's a really, really sad thing. The goals that we had for this club coming off the season that they had last season with the additions that they had this season with what was expected to come from Mascherano, this has to be, I would say, the biggest disappointment in the franchise's young history. This season will be a cataclysmic failure. And who knows what repercussions happen after that. Because this is obviously Suarez's last season. For the love of God, this
Has
is
to
his
be.
last season.
Has to be. Yeah.
If this ends really, really poorly, you have to, even though reports have said that Messi's looking to sign that extension, if this trend continues, you can't feel too good about that until that ink is dry. So I'm worried now about him being here for when that stadium opens. Because if that stadium opens and we don't have Messi and we don't have any actual star to tie it down, I fear it's going to be another fracas with a new stadium in the city of Miami with nobody showing up.
What's the other stadium? You talking about Martin's Park?
Yes.
I mean, the difference is that I feel like the citizens of like we all feel like we were kind of scammed in that stadium, right? I don't think, and also we would kind of sell off all of our good players. I don't think we're gonna do that here. So I like to trust the
all the
ownership.
good players are gone because they don't want to be here.
Well, no, okay, well that's different, right? Then we trade them all away. And they wanted to be here, but we don't
It's not a
want to pay them.
It's not a 1-for-1. I'm saying that we're gonna have a new stadium with nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a glorified event space at this rate.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not too.
Because the way because we're destined to win a few trophies. I remember in the beginning of the year, Chris, I think you asked all of us what each of us thought that how many championships we were gonna win this year. Remember?
Yep, I have it right here in front of me. So, Jose, you said 1. I said 3. David said 2. Julio said 2.
Jose's feeling pretty good right now.
Do you guys still feel good after that big loss? Do you guys
I don't think they're
going
gonna
to
win anything. Right now I'm saying 0.
I mean,
I think we're gonna figure something out.
I think 1 to 2 is still reasonable, but big changes need to happen. Like this is not acceptable, and that has to come from the top. Honestly, it has to be made very clear that this lack of I mean, it's so obvious to anyone watching the game that nothing's going on and nothing's changing game to game. And it's just like we gotta change. And if they don't, they're gonna end up with 0, like Ak is saying, and like Dave said. But we need to, yeah, everyone that's saying 0, like they're gonna be correct if we don't make big time changes. And it doesn't have to be a coaching change, although right now it's not looking great for Mascherano. But we need to have a change in the way we think about and approach these competitions where, I mean, you got to look at who's my best 11 right now. I mean, Segovia has been in a bad run of form. He's still getting tons of minutes. Redondo's been in a bad run of form. He's getting tons of minutes. And like that can't be okay. Like there needs to be a more serious conversation than just saying, oh, Mascherano, you have full control or most of the control. And then the only repercussion is him coming out after the game and saying, I take responsibility. Okay, cool. Like, so do something about it.
If he's taking responsibility, at some point he has to be held accountable.
Correct.
And if you're going to take responsibility and it's all your fault, guess what? Chris said in the Discord, you keep messing up at work. You keep messing up and it's all your fault. What happens? You lose your job. Yeah. I don't think he has any fear that he's going to lose his job.
you're messing up so much because you're not good at your job. And at some point,
Well-
it becomes apparent and something has to get done.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Dave. Like I don't know if he's not on the hot seat though, and I'll tell you why. Because Tata had a pretty good year by a lot of standards last year, right? And he was booted.
He had the whole.
This guy's not
season.
having a good year.
I don't think that they're gonna get rid of him midseason, warranted or not.
But
Who are they bringing in?
So you do,
Who are they bringing in?
So you do think at the end of the year, yes, but just not right now.
I wish it wouldn't have to wait till the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I get why it wouldn't, because it's hard to just come like with a manager.
Yeah, it's hard
mean,
to
hell.
find a manager. I mean, like
Yeah.
you can find some, but like
With
are
the
there
goals
good
that you have,
options? Are there good options that mesh well with what you're doing here? With that the tactical style fits the players that you have. There's a lot of consideration. It's not just like, oh, fire him and someone will come because we have Messi, so they'll want to coach Messi. That also doesn't mean
And you
success.
and you have to think too, who can really manage or coach the status of players on this team? Who can really handle having Messi under them? Are you really going to manage them at that point? Or are you going to bring someone again like Mascherano, who's buddies with all these people and maybe doesn't have that sort of control that we want a manager to have to that extent? So that's the other question, is to bring in basketball reference, LeBron. Like, there's only so many people that could properly coach LeBron, right? Spo was great at it here in Miami. But look how many coaches he went through and got fired under him, because it's just very difficult to coach someone at that caliber. You know, Messi's here. It's supposed that Messi
expectation.
makes a lot of the decisions here, right? Brings in certain players that he wants and certain types of style of play and this and that. So, you know, you need to find a coach that is willing to live with that to some extent, or who is big enough to say, hey, this is my team and I'm going to run it how I want. Messi, you're here. That's nice. I'm going to use you as you should be used, but this is my team. So it's difficult to find a coach, especially in the middle of the season, that fits that criteria.
yeah, because it's a quick change. I mean, you need a coach with gravitas. There's just not that many out there. I mean, I saw Xavi is one that's been named. Is Zidane still available? Is he still a name that was out there? Because I know he was like Pogba lingering around the club for a while there, and there was rumors and rumblings, and it's gonna be Zidane, and it ended up being Mascherano. But that's the thing. If you get rid of Mascherano right now, are you punting on the season? Is the season done? Because it kind of feels that way, which
I don't think
stinks.
so. I don't think so. I mean, the names that that was just being brought up on the chat. I mean, and it's if a guy like that pops up available, the season is not over. And we still have, like Chris said before, and that we have enough, players on this team that I think that we can, no matter what, if we're able to just have the right tinkering, the right coaching, mid game, just we need to figure something out. Just I don't think any, no matter what, I don't see us losing in that sense.
Yeah, just play your best 11. Just for starters. I think that's a good place to start. Just you have your best players and you actually play them.
And it's just insane. Something so right in your face, so apparent that he's not doing. I mean, that's why I put up P. Mosh's comment. He says the chat makes better coaching decisions than Mascherano, but it's true. I mean, if you look at not only our chat, if you look at the comments on the internet and all this stuff, it's very few times that everyone could really agree on one thing, just in general in the internet. So for everyone to be agreeing on a few pieces that should really be playing and are not, it's clear and obvious that Mascherano's just making the wrong decision. We're not soccer coaches here. We're not any sort of professionals or anything, but it's so just obvious that the wrong decisions are being made out there. And it has to be obvious to Beckham and to Mas and all them. So I don't know. There has to be some sort of change or some sort of talking to Mascherano to make a change.
It sucks because what I would like the most about Mascherano before was that I felt like he was doing very good in-game, just coaching and just making changes where they need to be changed. And I felt like that kind of lacked in that. And I kind of feel like we're going back to that a little bit, to those Tata days where we just get out coached and there's no adjustments mid game, and that's kind of where we're at.
I mean, we saw it last leg against Vancouver. Like, Vancouver was winning 2-0. We were sitting on our hands, and Vancouver was the one making substitutions. And we didn't make a sub until like the 80th minute of the first leg. And we were all four of us, and everyone in the Discord was pulling their hair out. Join the Discord, by the way, link in the description. And it's just like, it's so aggravating. And we went through this last year with that, to your point, where you know that the game obviously needs an infusion of something. And oftentimes we see specific players that need to be replaced where you can put that infusion of energy. And it's just so frustrating when that doesn't happen, or it almost feels like it's not acknowledged, especially match after match after match. I mean, some of these players have logged so many minutes this season already. And it's just like, you have such a deep team and you have all these players that really aren't getting any meaningful playing time. So they're just sitting on the bench, not able to get any sort of form built up. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to win a game here and there. But again, like in any consistent competition, like once you get to MLS Cup, in these cup competitions like this, like you're going to get lucky every now and then against an LAFC. But when it gets to the end, the later rounds, it's just not going to work, man. These teams are going to figure you out, and they're going to run circles around you as far as coaching goes.
And to go back to what you were saying, that the Whitecaps never stopped last match, they never stopped this match either. They made a sub at halftime. They made the right decision at halftime, and they continue making subs ahead of Inter Miami. And shoot, they still had the pedal to the metal the whole way through. They didn't stop. They didn't even give Miami just a slight light at the end of the tunnel. They just completely shut it out. So, I mean, that's the difference right there. That's the difference between the mentality of both teams and both managers. David doesn't drink the cheap stuff, you know.
Yeah, not tonight.
We got that. We got that sponsorship money now, so living it up.
Yeah.
Keep downloading that Sofa Score app, everybody.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know how much we can keep on beating the dead horse. This was pretty embarrassing. Even though we got to the semifinals of this competition, the manner in which we have gone out of the competition, it sparks a lot of questions. It continues to build on these questions that we've had about Mascherano over the past few weeks, and we need to see some answers sooner rather than later. But the grind's not going to stop, because we go right back into it on Saturday. Who do we play? I think it's Red Bulls.
It's Red Bulls.
Saying that?
It's Red Bulls, yeah.
Yeah, we play Red Bulls on Saturday, and Club World Cup's in a little over a month. So something needs to change, whether it's just getting to a better starting 11, doing more in-game adjustments like we were seeing at the beginning of the season. And even that, man, like now I'm questioning if that was a smoke screen. Like, were we gaslit by just some good performances early on in the season? It's really hard to say, man.
We should do like well, by we I mean like Chris, like we should do like one of those contrasts, right? Where like we're all clamoring and like end it with, are we gonna lose a game this year at all? Right? And then just like,
3-game losing streak.
Then just like the last 3 podcasts, just like
oh, man.
Not good, Bob. Not good. So we got Red Bulls on Saturday. I don't know who's doing the post game that one, because I'm going to be out of town. Dave's going to be out of town. So we will be live after the match in some capacity. But what do you guys think, before we sign off, going into that match? Who of these players stays in the starting lineup? I think is an interesting question. Like, do you think Suarez starts? Do you think Redondo starts? Do you think Chelo starts? Let's go with those 3. Do you think those 3 players start?
Mascherano's going to do the funniest thing and start the exact same group of people that we saw today. What?
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't.
I'm not even joking. I think he's going to continue starting these same people. I haven't seen anything from him telling me otherwise. I don't know. I haven't seen anything else, so I wouldn't be surprised at that, David. Not even joking.
No, I mean it's what he's shown. He's shown his allegiance to the to those players. He hasn't shown anything otherwise. So I don't see why he would start Obando over Luis Suarez. Like, do I see him like he should? Yeah, I would have. Whenever a club is going through a rough time like this, it's just very natural to just want to change things up. Straight up, it doesn't cross the board. Every sport you can think of, players are doing bad. Shake it up. How can he shake it up? What would you guys do? How would he be able to shake it up?
I would start playing these young players ahead of some of these other players that have cemented their spots in the lineup, man. Like, you got to show them that if you're not playing up to the level that we need you to, your position's not guaranteed. Like, get Obando in over Suarez, and if Obando starts scoring goals, he's going to start, and Suarez is going to be the spot replacement. If Redondo's not playing well, like he hasn't been playing well for like over a month, Bright's going to be the starter until you can supplant him. Like, you got to earn your spot in this team, and that's where we got to start. Like, this whole you're my best friend, so you get to start at striker every game. That doesn't work, man.
Yeah, let the players.
Mascherano has to be held accountable. Mascherano has to hold the players accountable as well, and he's not doing it.
Let the players form dictate who plays more minutes than the others, because it's honestly inexplicable for Suarez to get the amount of time that he's gotten. It's inexplicable for Redondo to continue to get playing time over Yannick Bright. It's nobody with a set of eyeballs who watches this team would do that in any situation. Like, I don't understand how you can consistently trot out Busquets next to Redondo and think that's what's best for this club. There's no scenario where that's good for this club. None.
It pisses me off, man. It pisses me off because I feel like it's almost like taking away our opportunity to fight against these guys. And Julio said it right. Vancouver is not a slouch. I don't know how we don't see them again later on this year, where for something meaningful. I do.
Well, we'll be lucky to see them for something meaningful, because that means we're in the final of the MLS Cup.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see how we. I still believe, guys, that we're gonna turn this around and we're gonna find ourselves in that cup final. To be honest, I do feel like we will figure it out. It's just such a weird situation right now. I don't know. We have to have like a growing pain, I feel, and we're going through right now. It's in my opinion, pretty terrible time to be going through with the Club World Cup, coming up very soon. It's like, I really wish we were rolling right now.
We're not going to figure it out with Mascherano at the helm. I don't think it's possible for us to figure it out. Mascherano has nothing in his past as a manager that says that he can figure it out. He's never won anything as a manager. So now expecting him to just on the fly for the first time in his career as a manager to figure it out, I don't see it. Tata at least had won with Atlanta. Tata had been a big time coach in La Liga. So he had the resume, he had the experiences to kind of give us a little bit of hope that he could figure something out. And you know what? He did. We were able to come away with some hardware with Tata. Mascherano, if he can't just put decent players in, I have zero confidence that he's going to figure anything out. And let's see, Moxa, with thank you for the super chat. You're saying Busquets and Suarez must be gone after this season. Busquets is making $9 million, by the way, and one of our big issues in the midfield is that he's slow. I
don't
it's
disagree.
true.
And you know the thing with Busi is that I feel like we've always given him a pass, have we not? I feel like he's one of those that kind of flies under the radar, and we're not really like thinking like, yo, like wait a second. I don't know.
He gets a pass because of his style of play, and the way that he affects the game it's not flashy. It doesn't show in the attack, but he's like a security blanket the way I see him. He does turn the ball over more lately than you would like to see, and I think that's the biggest issue with him. But he's never been a blazer, but he's always just been a solid piece to calm things down in the middle. But right now, I do agree that he's not filling that function. And a big part of that, I think, is Redondo is leaving him kind of open for that. I think
That's
if you have Bright next to him, it changes the dynamics of the game, and that's a big issue. And Mascherano needs to figure that out.
I'm gonna
That's the
tell you,
biggest-
bro. I think I'd rather Redondo hot take right now off the cuff.
Oh boy.
I think I'd rather Redondo and Bright than have Boosie there.
No shot.
Absolutely not. I'd rather
Nuts.
definitely Boosie out there, but with Bright and like what
Are you
David
drinking too? What's going on off the camera there?
Are you
Pellegrino.
sharing through the screen?
Oh, nice Pellegrino, baby.
Yeah, so the biggest thing with Boosie is that he has to keep on cleaning up for Redondo's boneheaded mistakes. So he's caught a lot chasing back to defense and playing a lot more defense than maybe he should be playing instead of being kind of that field general in the midfield. I think with Bright, he doesn't have to worry about anything. With Bright, you just go ahead and let the defense be, and Boosie could be up trying to make some magic with Messi. That's just what we've seen so far this season. And unfortunately, it looks like he's taking a step back just because Mascherano refuses to play Bright. He just refuses. He just keeps playing Redondo. I think that's why we've seen a step back. We got another super chat from Truck Ho. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Sad day, guys. Hope Inter Miami brings back the attack, so it will be fun to watch at least. Thanks, guys, for your time, even in sad days. Yeah, we're here. Good days, bad days.
Begrudgingly
happy, sad.
sometimes
Yeah.
on the bad days.
Sometimes with a little bit of help.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
We've got a lot more viewers. I don't think they've seen that. Like, we just gotta do it again.
No, don't push your luck. Tune in next time.
Yeah. You gotta figure out how to do that next time, Chris.
But yeah, Chuck, we appreciate it. We appreciate
And
that
part
support.
of like seeing the attack come back. Look just at last match against Dallas, Ian Frey. Look at how much he opens up the attack. And this is another player that he just will not play under any circumstances. What did Ian Frey do to him off the pitch that doesn't let him use him? I don't understand what the hell is going on. Because before we had the excuse, we're limiting his minutes because of he's coming back from injury and all this stuff. For all intents and purposes, Ian Frey is ready to go. And he's always available off the bench. And he doesn't come off the bench. He doesn't start. And anytime that he's used, he's not only good, but he's fantastic. And he's fantastic on both ends.
I love watching him play.
It's just insane that we're not seeing players that open it up like that. Like look at Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba is good on defense, but fantastic on the offense. I think Frey might be a step up on Jordi Alba on defense and still really good on the offensive side. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, you have a perfect opportunity to have two complementary wingbacks.
We need 3 goals today, right? Like
Yeah, you would think he would put all the offensive stops for. You would see Fafa, you would see Obando, you would see everybody who could possibly put the ball in the back of the net. And no, it's like he's managing with one arm tied behind his back.
Oh, wrong one. I lost it. There's like 5 comments all at once right there.
Yeah.
So Mike V says Frey can't play that much. He's injury prone. I get it, but at some point the kid has to play. He's on the team. He's not even getting sub-in minutes. Like they're just not playing him. He's just not out there at all. So at some point, I get it. He's injury prone, and you got to monitor that. But he has to play at some point. Why else is he on this team? He's not seeing the pitch at all. In the good or the bad, he's not seeing the pitch. He saw
one
this
thing to
weekend.
monitor him. It's
Right.
another thing in a do or die match to not show him the pitch at all. That's not monitoring him.
Yeah.
That's just not using him.
Yeah.
And these guys that are getting minutes, you are going to need them at different points in the season. So to grind them into dust and run them into the ground is also not going to be beneficial for them in the long term. So like the point of Frey being injury prone, so you don't play him as many minutes, I can understand that to a point, but also these guys are all going to break down if you play them 90 minutes every game 3 times a week. So like there has to be rotation, and we're not really seeing it at like even a little bit.
Maybe that's the hope. Sorry, Jose. Maybe that's the hope with Suarez, that Mascherano's plan is like, I'm just going to use this guy until the wheels fall off, and then I don't look like the bad
And
guy.
then I can use Obando every single game.
It's like then my friends won't think that I'm being mean to them. It's like, oh, I can't play you. You got hurt. That's what it is. Oh man, Mascherano's playing 3D chess is what it is.
And it's like Upcode says here. Yeah, Frey being injury prone. Stop. He is huge for our offense, and we need goals. I mean, that's kind of what I was gonna allude to. That the dude Abide said earlier, which is Bright, Frey, and Fafa tonight would have made a big difference. I mean, ultimately, we're down. We need to score 3 to 4 goals, perhaps. Okay, this is the game where you probably put Frey. You know what I'm saying? If it's spot starts, this is a perfect spot start.
And listen, if he's on the team sheet, he's good to go. Like if he's on the team sheet, that means he can play. And hey, man, people get injured. And I understand Frey has an injury history and you have to protect him to a certain extent. But if you're on the team sheet, like you got to be good to go. And you got to understand that that risk it is inherently there for Frey, right? And for all players, but for Frey, especially because of his injury history. But like if you're on the team sheet, like you're good enough to go, man. Like what are we doing? I don't understand. It's so frustrating.
And I'm sorry, Telasco as well, Segovia, he was one of my favorites coming in. I thought he was going to have a great season. He started off pretty good, but there's no reason going forward that he shouldn't be benched and Fafa should start on that left side. There's just no reason. I think Fafa on the left side makes so much sense. He's going to bring a lot more than what Telasco's given to us so far this season. And we need to score, man. This team's not scoring. That's the biggest issue right now. We're not scoring. Our defense is playing fine. Our defense has been playing fine. We got 3 scored on us today because we were playing 3-man back for half of the game. Of course, we're going to get scored on. But our defense has been fine. We need to score goals. Fafa should be out there. Frey should be out there. Bright should be out there for Redondo because he gives that defensive presence so that Frey could shoot up the wing. It just is what it is. I just don't see it. I don't know. We're just going in circles at this point, but yeah.
Yeah, very frustrating night. Yeah, it's a frustrating night. We get back to MLS play, and the next big competition starts in June with the Club World Cup. But until then, it'll be a busy MLS schedule because I think midweek start up in a few weeks, if not next week. But yeah, we'll be here Saturday evening after the Red Bulls match. Again, it might be an abbreviated crew, but a crew nonetheless. So be sure to join us. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I know everyone's still fired up and we can talk about this all night, but I think we're going in circles a little bit. So for everyone's sake, I think we're just going to call it. But appreciate everyone who hung out in chat. It was very lively tonight, which is always really fun. The Discord's like this all the time, by the way. So join that if you haven't already. Link in the description along with a whole host of other different links. So check it out. All different ways to support us. And we appreciate you tuning into the Heron Heads podcast. Your first stop for all things Inter Miami, powered by 786 Sports. We'll catch you on Saturday. Have a good night, and yeah, bye.
We'll be right back.